Welcome back to Black
Essence Personified. All right, you ready for today?
I'm ready. What are we doing?
What do you mean, what are we doing? You know the topic. Tell me the question.
Is this the red flags?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Red flags. Why would I be like this?
So we're gonna have a little relationship discussion today, but we're gonna talk about red flags in a relationship. So the first question is gonna be, what are your top 3 red flags in a relationship? You go first.
Top 3, actually. If during this conversation you're thinking about something that may have happened to you or a red flag that really bothered you, go ahead and start writing in the comments. So maybe we can have like a part 2 or something. I don't know, but let's look a little dry in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like the video. We gotta keep remembering to say that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now I do feel like red flags change depending on the person, their experiences, and what they're looking for. That's true. But
as you get older, your red flags change. I don't think you have as many when you're young. Because you have to learn.
This is true. For sure. Unless you want to have kids when you're like, okay, just forget. Okay.
That's going to be in the show. All right?
Red flag.
No cuts.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I would say for me as an adult, one of my red flags simply was like if the person did not want to have kids. Okay. That was like, you don't want to have kids? I'm sorry. I wanted to have kids more than I wanted to be a wife.
No, I'm saying.
And you know that. From the time I've been...
I don't even care about being someone's house. I just want some babies.
I want some babies.
My bloodline strong.
I want a family, and I have actually been in a couple of past relationships where people have tried to change my mind. Or say what I want them to say, like what they think I want them, what I want to hear, and it never ends well because I'm not changing that. So if you start off a relationship trying to change the other person's mind about something big like having kids and a family, 86 that get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
What are we doing together for that?
Like we gotta end this.
Like
right
you're
now.
cool, but I can only hang out with you being cool by yourself so long.
Exactly. Like no, seriously. We need a distraction sometimes. And guess what? A little puppy and going outside, that's not long enough. That's not long enough.
It's not going to do it.
All right, so why don't you give a red flag? Why did you do one?
Your red flag was not wanting to have kids. My red flag is not having visible flaws. If I cannot see your flaws within a few weeks, I'm done. That means it's something that's going to hurt me later.
Okay, when you say no flaws, you mean like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. Like there's no honeymoon stage for you.
Yeah, I don't like people who are too perfect. I'm the kind of person, as soon as you meet me and we start dating, I'm going to tell you all my flaws right up the front. I'll tell you, this is what I don't do. I'm good at this. I'm bad at this. I'm really great at this. I'm working on being better at this. Like, that's me. Like, I'm giving you the full warning label. Some people can't handle that. I prefer that. But if I can't see a girl's flaws within a few weeks, there's something bad.
Yeah, but also that stems from your character, too. Right?
What you mean?
You're a very honest and transparent person.
Too honest.
Should we say that there's some people who are just not transparent either? Like,
No. I think because I'm so honest and transparent, I'm annoyed when they don't give it right back. Like, I feel I feel like I'm honest and transparent so we can get rid of this awkward phase of figuring each other out. Let me just tell you up front who I am. I know myself pretty well. I can tell you what about me is going to get on your nerves because it probably just on my nerves too. Right.
Well, does that also mean that if you are in a relationship with somebody who's not a really good communicator,
it's hell for
it
them.
would be very hard for you.
It's hell for them. It's hell for both of us. Because I'm a digger. What's going on? What's the problem?
Right.
Why are you not talking? Something's wrong. And you're not fine. I'm very, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am, sorry. I tell you that in the beginning that, nothing, I'd rather you tell me the bad things and let me process them.
Right.
And hold them in where you process them and they just sit on everyone's nerves.
See, that was a really good point though. Like you're saying that it might hurt me.
It's fine.
Very well, it might hurt me, but let me process.
Yes.
And I think that's important.
Yes.
Because some people don't like that. I used to be the person where the processing part bothers me because I need this fixed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I need it fixed right now. Like, I can't have us be in a disagreement. But then as I got older, I realized, like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy because now we're both emotional.
Why do I have to deal with her right now? There's no deadline
it's too much.
on my emotional state. All right, you told me the truth. Let me go think about it. Let me go sit in the woods
about it for a little
and
bit.
ponder.
You know what? I'm going to put the baby to sleep. Where's the puppy? Come
Something
here,
needs to do something.
Baby.
Yeah. So yeah, no. I will definitely say my partners, all of them have become better communicators after our relationship. That is very fair.
Let's see. I'm trying to think a red flag for me. Now, I think it's really important for me to be with someone who's ambitious. So a red flag for me is someone who is very content with just, I don't want to say being okay.
Content is
because being okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just someone who's content. I don't like content people. That's the annoying thing.
I'm too ambitious.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, I'm always thinking, what am I going to do next? What's my next goal? Because I want to live
what's next?
A certain life.
Yes.
I want to be able to say, oh, guess what? I'm going on vacation next week, right?
Yes.
And I don't want to be like, let me scramble for pennies, or I don't want to spend money I don't have. So in that, and my investment in myself, I need somebody who's going to be like, where you want to go? Oh, okay. We're going to Puerto Rico. Okay, let's do this. So when I'm like, okay, I'm working this extra shift, or I'm going to pull this thing to make some money, she's like, okay, I'm pulling this extra money over here so we can do this. And so when we go on this trip on vacation,
it's gonna be lit.
It's like, there's an investment there. Like, we're doing everything that we want to do. Like, I need somebody who's understanding of that. And right now, my girlfriend's all about it. She's like, where do you want to go? And if somebody's not established and they're content with like, oh, I've had this job for 25 years that I hate.
I can't do that.
Oh.
I can't do that. Well,
like,
quit.
You
find a new job.
And you're miserable. And what do you do with your misery? You go to work.
You spread it to others.
You come home and you're miserable with me, and then you say, I did.
And now I'm not getting the version of you I want. I'm getting the miserable work version of you that I didn't sign up for. The miserable work version of you. I signed up for lover.
Exactly. How can we be our best selves if you were at a job that you hate every single day?
You can't.
Hey, one of the worst jobs I ever worked at was when I worked at Target.
I mean, it's Target.
Yeah, but I worked stock too. I never took the job because I just needed to get through school. But I'm telling you, just picking up those bugs every day and the way my hands were, I hate it. And I don't use the word hate.
The trauma.
I'm thinking about it right now. It's hurting my head.
You look hurt. Your energy's bringing my energy.
Yeah, okay. Let's change this real quick. All right, so I said my second red flag. You said your second red flag.
What's my first red flag?
Rewind.
What is my second red flag? You said the kids one already.
Yeah.
I said they can't see the visible flaws.
Yes.
Okay. You said not ambitious.
Uh-huh.
Oh, content. You don't like people who are content.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like stupid people. I can't date.
Can that be a mean?
No, it's a red flag. No, it's a red flag for me. If you're it's not even about being intellectually smart. If you're not a reasonable person, all right, I can't deal with it. I cannot. I can't be out with you and like someone asks you where the fucking capital of the country is, and you're like Virginia. I can't do that with you. You're not going to put
me but that's not
in the
important
situation. It's important for me.
Okay.
First of all, it's even twice as important. Because if she's stupid, my kid's gonna be stupid.
Oh, I don't think that's how
it's
that works.
Hereditary. Stupid is hereditary. You didn't know that?
Okay.
It's genetic.
You
didn't know that? Be careful. Watch yourself. I'm thinking he's cute and he's stupid. Now your baby's stupid and tall.
You got it wrong too. You said he.
She, sorry, my bad.
The way how things work in the lesbian world, I'll be all right.
You know what? I already told you the happiest couples I know are lesbians. I already told you. All the other couples are unhappy. The gays fight. The straight people cheat on each other. The lesbians are happy as fuck.
Baby, do you think I'm smart?
Yeah. I wouldn't be
because this baby's coming right here. Yeah. It'll be all right.
You, as you know, you really keep me in my circle still. unless you pass an intelligence test. It's a secret rule of my circle. Anyone who's close to me, you secretly pass one of my tests. Right?
That was a surprise. Okay, I'm glad we don't talk about this beforehand. I'm like, really?
You passed the test so long. You know what I'm saying? You passed the test when it was easy.
So if you didn't make it that far in Pharaoh's life, you weren't smart enough.
You said something that just made me think.
Uh-oh.
If we get into a bad situation, your stupid decisions may cost me my life. That's how I think. If zombies come and you're stupid, I just expect you to open the door. That's how I think. So yeah, intelligence is a red flag.
I'm trying to think while you were talking, but the only thing I can think of, but it's kind of with content, like the lack of understanding. Actually, no, that goes with. I was gonna say with content, like. If you don't have an understanding of mental health, that's a red flag for me. But that can go in that category.
Yeah, that's
I think that it's important for you to have a connection to Black culture. And I didn't think that would be a red flag for me until my last relationship.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized that this needs to be at the top.
This
needs to be at the top.
In the defense of humans, she is not the best example.
Okay, so I'm just saying that I love a Black woman. I am proud to be with a Black woman right now. But a red flag for me is if you are not connected to your culture. Like, you need to be pro-Black.
Your culture
need to love,
or your culture?
You need to love...
Wait, question. Their culture or your culture? Like, what if you date someone who's Spanish and they're really into their Spanish culture?
Yes, but you still need to love Black culture, too.
Okay.
Like, there's some people that I know, they're with a Black person and... Sorry.
I told you this
they're
before.
They're with a Black person, but they're like, oh, but you're not that kind of Black.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's, to me, red flag.
It's a huge red flag.
Yeah. Oh, we going past there. Oh, yeah, those Black people. Well, I'm Black. Well, you're not that type of Black.
Red flag.
Mayday. Mayday. Turn around now. Find someplace else to go.
Because I can already tell with this relationship.
Oh, yeah. Like, what do you mean you don't like me? You can't separate the two. The fact that some people think that they can is kind of crazy to me. But
well, I told you before, right now we're at a point where we don't live in all racially homogenous communities anymore. Mm-hmm. So there's a level of our American experience that's just human. Mm. And enough of that, just being an American, is enough to have a relationship off of. And that's something I've recently realized just talking to more interracial couples. Race isn't always on their goddamn mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it be? We live in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Like, my skin color is only a conversation really at like a Black Lives Matter protest or the police show up. But outside of that, I'm pretty all human. And there are a lot of we're just living more humanly. That's all I can say. Like, interracial relationships are on the rise, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the rise, but I still think that it's important for you to embrace who that person is.
Yes, but race means something more when you live in an area where everyone's the same race. Mm. We live in such a culturally diverse society that my being Black, why it has weight, it doesn't, I'm not too much different from my white counterparts who are equally as educated as I am. Does that make sense? Like, a poor white man, a poor Black man, they probably gonna have similar ideals to each other.
Yes.
So the American.
So we're talking about the human being itself, not the way in which they're treated.
No, we're talking that the American mindset is a little more culturally spread out than our ideas on race will allow us to accept sometimes.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, we're all watching the same TV shows. We all grew up on the same cartoons. Like, when you think about race, you're thinking about people who live, like, in a tribal situation. They're sharing similar cultures, similar languages. We don't have that level of difference in America. If that makes sense. Like, we're all pretty much are getting the same education. We're watching the same TV shows. We're getting the same news. Like, it's not the same. Like, 30 years ago, that wasn't the same. People read different newspapers. People didn't have the internet like they did now. There was a little bit more difference. I don't see it as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, I think you can literally be an American and your race not play too much part in your day-to-day life unless a cop shows up on you.
I mean, we can disagree on that one, but I hear what you're saying.
It's not as prevalent as
But what's your red flag? Your last one.
My last red flag. I don't like people who are mean to servers. If we go out, if you go out with me, I'm nice to everyone, right? Yes. I'm friendly to all the servers, please.
Everyone.
Thank you, please, thank you. If you don't have a similar energy like that, unless my order is wrong, that's the only time I expect you to ever
get. Yeah, but you're still nice.
I'm nice. Right. But the only time I want anyone I'm dating to get upset or be mean to a server if my order is wrong. Because I don't like doing that with servers. I like to keep my nice guy. You play the backup there. But for any other reason but that, if you get rude with a server, I probably will never talk to you again.
That's going to be you with your kids. You know that, right?
What?
I want to be the nice dad. So can you handle that?
You already know.
Like, that ain't right. That's not right. That's too much pressure. Like,
my children are going to be highly competent. Daddy is always sending us to do something.
Too much.
He says as far as development.
I have therapy today? Yes, you do, son. Get in the car.
But I already know I'm fucking you up. I already know.
Wait, stop.
No, I already know. I know my kids are going to have to get some therapy early. I'm too much. They have to talk about their feelings at like age 7. That's a lot.
It's really not as much as you think it is, but that's okay.
I mean, you know what? Not now. Maybe not now. Things have changed.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a learning process.
That's true.
It's a learning process. And remember, once again, give credit to those people who are watching this video, and you are definitely trying to change the narrative. I thank you, and keep going. You can do this. All right. Our second question. What do you do when one partner is cleaner than the other? Talk about it.
Look.
Talk about it.
It's very hard. Especially if someone has like OCD. That's difficult. All right. I always try to say you should set like relationship. You should have a conversation about relationship rules. I always tell people, what is your relationship agreement? If you guys are cohabitating, chores should be a part of the relationship agreement.
Yes.
All right. Like if one partner is the cook for the group, then maybe the other partner should do the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and not with animosity either.
Not at all with animosity.
Like the agreement is made. You don't have to be mad. You don't have to slam the dishes in there.
I wash all the dishes. I cook all the nobody. Like, I know women be pissed off because they do most of the cleaning.
I cook every single night for your ass.
But when you come to me with all that pissed offness, I'm not listening. Because now it's like yelling. You could have a conversation. You could just talk to me like a normal person.
Yeah, but if we made the deal together,
yeah,
right, then, and you're not keeping up your end of the deal,
that's a different story.
Okay, all right. But I think
go get you a new nigga. If you made an agreement with your man,
are we saying that?
Sorry, go get you a new man.
Gosh,
if your man's not adhering to the relationship agreement you two talked about, set down, and agreed upon, he don't take you seriously. Bounce. You are going to be all right with
add that to the red flags.
All right.
I'm gonna have to say that I think that you were right. I don't think I have anything to add. And I have to be honest, a little bit of confessions. I'm definitely a clean person. Like, but I am understanding of the fact that it can get a little too crazy. Like, so I think when you get a little older and you're like, okay, you start making deals, right? If I know that if someone else cleans the bathroom, it's not going to be up to my standards, then I need to just take the initiative and say, I'll clean the bathroom and then you can do this, right? Or let's agree on something else that you could do. Because I've seen people, and honestly, I get it from my dad. My dad is just like that. My dad is like, oh, there's this little tiny hair. Whoa, nobody clean the floors. Like, that's my dad. And so as a kid, I used to be like, if you have such a problem, why don't you clean up? But his thing was like, that's not me. I just came home from work. That's what you guys do. That's what the girls in the house do. But I realized that is an issue. And then I started catching myself doing certain things like that. And I was like, oh, no. Can't do that anymore. So now I'm like...
Sound like my father.
I don't know. Like, this sounds oddly familiar. Take a step back. Why am I mad? Ain't nobody in the house. I'm just yelling at like, why did I... It's like, okay.
Yelling at you.
Yeah, like, why am I yelling at myself? Like, why am I so infuriated? So anyway, my whole point is this. When you start realizing that, take some accountability. Okay, you know what? If I'm going to mop the floors, I'm going to mop it the way that I want to. Okay, fine then. But you know what make me feel good? So I don't feel like I'm your maid. Could you also do something for me? So right now, like, I'll clean. You know, my girl, she cooks.
That's a good
She
balance.
cooks and she is, woof. Anyway, that's a whole other story right
Next
there.
question.
Okay. Should you leave a relationship in which your partner cheats?
Yeah. Unless cheating is a part of your relationship agreement. Like, unless you have an open relationship, then yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know why people stay after they've been cheated on.
I mean, you know how people always say, like, it's usually love. Sometimes it's circumstances.
No, it's loneliness at that point.
Wow. Does it matter for time? Time's sake?
I mean, if you've
been with somebody for 15 years and you're married to them and they cheat? If you have
kids together, someone cheats and you guys stay together, that's a completely different scenario because you're right. It's not about either. You got to provide a stable household for these kids. And I don't think people's happiness should take place over providing a stable home for kids. So,
I mean, I have to say, though, that I have noticed that has backfired. Like, in our generation, we were like, okay, you know, yeah, you want to stay together as much as possible. But then I've realized that that's also backfired because you guys hate each other and you're not, you know, like, why are you around the kids? Like, you're actually more hurtful to the kids by not showing them love to each other or showing them how a relationship is supposed to look. As opposed to just leaving. You're not happy.
All right. So everyone,
you're not happy.
Again, who's more important? Who's more important?
The kids.
The kids. All right.
Right. And a matter of the kids, you should leave.
All right. I don't know.
You should leave. And then maybe we should also talk about some other time the severity of your relationship.
Personally, I think everyone should be more polyamorous. I don't think people should commit to being monogamous.
Says the guy who's over here saying what?
Well,
that you should stick it through.
I have relationship agreements. So I would never set someone else up for something like that because it's already in our relationship agreements.
Okay. All right.
But here's the problem. I think people are cheating so rampantly now that people just need to be honest that you love this person and you want to sleep with other people. And we need to separate love from sexual attraction. While they overlap a little bit, they're just not congruently the same. It's unfortunate. You can fuck a bunch of people and still be in love with one person. You don't agree. I can tell by your silence.
You can love someone and...
You can love a person and have sex with a bunch of different people. What does sex have to do with love? I know, it's a conversation for the poets, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just another podcast.
Probably. Put it on
because I have quite a few things to talk about with that.
Ooh.
Because there are a lot of people who've been in relationships, have had sex outside of marriage, and have said that, you know what, this has turned into something else. Or, I actually heard of this one, where you bring in a third party into the sexual relationship, and then it turns into something else. My actual therapist has told me about, yeah.
Let's just agree that things dealing with sex can go a bunch of different ways.
Yes, it can. So there's a risk factor that's involved.
You're talking about when things go wrong.
I'm saying it's not, of course it's not planned. Yeah. And it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And you agree on it. Yeah. But you say, oh, we accept the consequences of it.
You know, there's a whole swinger couple community, and they're very stable. I would even say that swinger couples have the happier marriages of straight couples I know.
Okay, we can definitely talk about that.
I don't think.
In another podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's pretty...
I base it off how happy you look.
I don't have a problem, though, with any couple who wants to be a part of the swinger lifestyle, right? Even if there is someone who is in a polyamorous... or is it... What is it?
I think it's polyamorous.
Am I saying it right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Non-monogamous. I know that word. Okay. If they're in a non-monogamous relationship, I don't really have an issue with that. What I have done, though, is ask questions about certain people who have been in these relationships, and I don't like what I hear.
You wouldn't.
I don't like what I hear. No, I do.
About multiple people in a relationship sounds like it would.
No, but it does make sense. It makes sense.
You did?
I think it makes sense. But there's the people that I've talked to specifically who have said, oh, yeah, like, you know, it makes sense as to there's different parts of you,
mm-hmm.
you know, like not having one person to complete you.
That's a lot.
Is a lot of pressure, and you wonder why it doesn't work. I understand it.
Not all of us are one people.
But with that being said, the people that have met that have been in non-monogamous relationships who have said, oh yeah, this is how it works. Yeah, you know, you can ask me anything. You show me what's going on. It wasn't working out. And so I would like to be, you know, more like, I would like to ask questions to somebody who's actually in this lifestyle and it's working out for them, because, you know, just like certain times you don't see it working out in relationships. I would like to see it work.
That's true.
And not on a TV series. Like, I want to see it work in real life.
Like Sister Wives.
Yeah. I watched Sister Wives and I was like, this ain't it. I want no parts.
Which is funny because I feel like, from what I understand, only really in Western civilization do men take one wife. And that's like the norm. A man having one wife. All around the other places in the world, men have multiple wives. And it's not as frowned upon. So that's a weird thing. Was brought to my attention when I first started looking into it, was how monogamy was really just pushed in the last few centuries. That human beings haven't actually been committed to monogamy till just recently. And that's something someone from that community taught me that I didn't know. I was like, oh, what?
No,
then I had to go look into it. I was like, oh, fuck.
No, it makes sense.
Like, even
it literally makes sense.
The church allowed you to have a second wife for a while. That changed, that changed at some point. Right?
I just feel like there's a different standpoint when it comes down to men.
Of course.
Who having multiple wives as like a woman having multiple husbands.
Well, the Amazonians used to do it, but they're the only ones I've ever seen try.
Well, I'm just trying to keep it real, too.
No, right.
You grow up in a society where it's like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. And even the whole point of marriage is like, if someone's last name, well, it changed. It's LGBTQ+, you have people getting married now. Who wants to change your last name? You know,
red flag for me, if she doesn't want my last name. I forgot. That's a red flag.
If she doesn't want your last name?
Yeah, any girl talk about she's not changing her last name, I don't think we're right for each
That's
other.
interesting.
I have a great last name. It's not like it's something funky.
Here we go. Some people may disagree. Oh, wait. The last question that we have. I didn't even know you was looking at me. The last question says, did you answer this question?
No, just ask the question.
How do you handle a partner that doesn't know how to express their emotions? Because we only hit on it a little bit when I said communication would not work for you.
That is very hard to do because I grew up in a family that you're forced to talk about all your feelings and emotions. Like, you're not allowed to have a silent emotion. You know what I'm saying? So that is very different from how other people grow up, which I've learned. So it's a very hard thing to do, and it's uncomfortable. I realize sharing your feelings is uncomfortable for people who don't have to share their feelings. So it's, you know, I'm going to push. You know, in your relationship environment, we're going to talk about how we're feeling. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to talk. All right? We're going to have a full...
You would use force. We're going to talk about this right now, even though you feel uncomfortable.
Here you go.
I'm asking a question.
Here you go. Is it a question? It's I know a question when I hear one.
What are you going to do, Adrian? Are you going to tie her? Listen to me now. Listen to me.
She always got me.
We're going to talk.
How would you deal with that? Yeah, like a minute and 30 seconds.
Oh, we talked before. Okay. So this has to be really quick. I was with somebody who could not, two people who had trouble expressing their emotions. And honestly, it's just too much work. You get older, you're like, I don't have the patience anymore. I can't sit here and just wait for you to come and tell me how you're feeling. You know, after a while, like, at first it's like a challenge. You kind of like it.
You do.
You know, I'm like, all right, you know, I can talk to anybody. I'm a social person.
And one day you're just annoyed.
And then just one day I'm just kind of like, just tell me how you feel. And I understand that sometimes it's hard for people. But I've also realized with time and someone who's invested in you, it's different. If somebody struggles a little bit with communication, we can't say that everybody's going to be 120% all the time. Like Pharaoh was saying, like, his family's very open. There's not a lot of families that are like that, who are like, tell me how you feel. But I will say that in those relationships, clearly they didn't work because I didn't stay with them. And in my present relationship right now, we make sure that communication is up in the forefront. If you need space, say it. Listen, I need 2 minutes. I need 5 minutes. You know what? Can we just not talk about this for the rest of the day? And we'll come back. And you know what's funny? nobody takes it personal. Because that's what we're doing. We're communicating. You ever get angry at something, you don't know why you're angry? That's what I do. I say, I'm just really upset right now and I can't quite figure out why. Give me some time to figure it out.
So we have about 10 seconds left. I want you guys to really think about your relationship red flags. Mention some things down in the comments. And we out. So, if you've enjoyed this episode of Black Essence Podcast,
please make sure to subscribe by pressing the subscribe button down below and also pressing the bell.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Black Essence Pod. We look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Yo, it's Patience from the Black.